InfoLobby has just released a table level validation fields and I had to try it out, right? Now I am here in my invoicing table. There's a different video where I show how I created this entire invoicing software for a small business. Now in this video, I'm going to show you some great use cases for table level validation. First things first, what is a table level validation? For example, something as simple as invoices, right? When I go into this particular invoice and I save it, I do not want the invoice to be saved if, for example, if there is no line items. I don't want it to be saved. So normally in any of the no code builder, you can't do this. There is no native validation, but with InfoLobby, you can do that. You can have like an entire PHP script section to validate any field in any way you wish. It's PHP, so you can write all sorts of code in there. Let's start with the first item. I'll show you where it is. First of all, you can go into your table settings, which in my case is going to be in the invoices table. I'm going to configure, and on the general field, you have the validation. Okay. Now, there are a few variables that is available upfront. Let me show you those. So if I go ahead and then just return record. So there is a record, there is lines, there is user, and there's before. Now let's first try with record. Now this is not going to return us anything. I'll tell you why. Because let me just save it. I'm going to open the invoices. And now if I try to save this, nothing is going to happen because though we are returning record, it is kind of an array. So array can't be returned. So you always have to encode it. So you can go ahead and then JSON encode it and now save it. Now when you're trying to save any value, you will get the whole record printed out here. So if you want to get the line items, instead of printing the record, you have to go ahead and print lines. Lines will give you the line items. Now if I save this and now I go ahead and try to save here, you see that I'm getting two line items, that is 907, and I'm getting a description, fees, quantity. So that's one item, and here's a second line. So we're getting two line items. So that is lines. The third thing you have here is before. So before means it is the value that is originally present in this particular record. For example, if I go ahead and change my date from 5th to 10th, all right, and then try to save it, it's going to still say the value of issue date as 5th. So if you look at the issue date, it's going to say 5th because currently it is printing the before value. Whereas instead of before, if I had tried record, it would show you the new, the new value, which would be 10th. You can see that now it is 10th. So this before thing is really useful if you want to compare, if you want to prevent editing of certain fields, etc. For example, I'll show you a quick use case. Let's say that I do not want users to edit the issue date. I want to prevent that from happening. So I'll write if before, what is the field name? Field name can always be obtained from this developer view. So issue date, this is the field name. I'm going to put it here. So I will say if before issue date is not equal to the new issue date, basically. So instead of before, let's try with record. Then I wanted to throw an error. I missed here. I will say return. It cannot edit issue date field. I'm gonna save it there now. And now if we go ahead, reload this. If I change, for example, invoice number, it will allow me to save. But if I change issue date to something else, it's not going to allow me to save. It will tell that you cannot edit issue date. So that is one thing you can check. Another good example is that you want to prevent there should be at least one line items. How would you do that? So you can go ahead and check what is the length of lines. So if I go ahead and then check, so I'm going to comment this out. We don't need for this example anymore. So this is how you comment it in the PHP. Now let's go ahead and check if there are any lines. The first thing I would do is that I would like to know what lines is going to look like, right? So I'm going to go ahead and then hit return, and then I'm going to JSON encode the lines variable. I'm going to save it. I'm going to try saving an item. It's basically returning 907, which I'm assuming some sort of ID for the table, and then it's giving me an array. So I can simply grab that value. So I can say JSON encode 907. Now I should get actual values. Let's go ahead and try again. Yep, I'm getting the actual values. Now we can easily count this. So I'm going to go ahead and say count. So now it should return 2 items. So if I say it returns 2. Now if I remove one item, it will say 1. And if I remove the whole item, it's going to say 0. So that works perfectly well. So now I'm going to say count is equal to, I just need this much. We don't have to JSON encode them yet. All right. Now lines, yep. If count equal to 0, then I would basically print return there must be at least one line item. I'm gonna save this now and let's hope it works. So I'm gonna cancel this. I'm gonna refresh the whole page. So there is 2 items. If I save it, it kind of seems to be working. But if I remove both the items, now there's no line item. If I save it, there must be at least one line item. That is another great example. Yeah, that's so these are 2 good examples about how to do validation. The first thing you should do is that always try to print your variable, and then while printing always make sure that you JSON encode it, no matter if it is string, if it is number, if it is array, always JSON encode your output. Any output JSON encode it. That's how you will be able to print it out. And then you basically have to write simple PHP, and if you're not sure how to do it, just copy paste this bit and then give it to any ChatGPT or what is it called, Gemini, and then it will do it for you. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.